When I was a kid, we didn't have sex ed in school in any meaningful way.
What I did learn a little bit about romantic relationships was in Hindi movies, Bollywood movies. Back in the 70s, they still had some kind of censorship. So if a girl and a guy were getting close, then all of a sudden you would hear the rustling of the leaves, or the birds would fly and the flowers would swing. But you never saw a kiss on screen, you never saw sex, you never saw anything that implied that there was more to it than just feeling good about a guy.
I remember in middle school, health education was a brief lesson on anatomy and biology and STDs, and I wish that it had been more of a discussion about the types of healthy relationships that can be modeled and could be examples, because at that age I remember everyone feeling somewhat abnormal and like an outlier, and realizing what a range of healthy can look like would have been very valuable.
We had sex education in school, and I was so grateful that we were exposed to this. Our parents, who are first generation Chinese, would never have discussed this topic in our household.
As I go along the journey of parenthood, I've noticed that of course what happens at home is important, but also that kids really need adults besides their parents that they can turn to with questions and to seek advice from. I know it's not always easy for kids to talk to their parents about sexuality and relationships. They do need other outlets that feel supportive and safe.
I personally want my kids to be more comfortable talking about sex, and there just needs to be a demystifying of the topic.
I want my kids to learn about sexuality in school because I don't want them to feel what I felt going into my college years. I want them to feel very confident about who they are as people. I want them to feel assured about how, that they are normal in what they feel, and that this will change as they go through their years in middle and high school.
I'd like to see our schools address sexuality because I think it's important for not just my kids, but for their peer group to have heard the same messages. I think there's a real power in having your friends share similar values and around things like consent and respect and other aspects of sexuality.
I really want my kids to learn about this in school. And I also think it's really important that they learn alongside their peers, that they're doing it with their friends next to them, because again, talking about what's normal, I think that when you're learning with your friends next to you, it's a normal experience. It's like you're taking English and you're learning about sex ed, and that's part of your normal education.
And you're not embarrassed after that.
Right. Well, it's always going to be embarrassing.
Well, I guess so. but less embarrassing.
Less embarrassing.
We want them to not have this topic be a taboo, but instead be something that, when they're ready, they have all of the facts at their fingertips, and they can make good choices for themselves and even help their friends make good choices. It's a little bit like a ping pong ball for us. We want our kids to get good values at home, and then go to school and have those things reinforced with great information, and then be able to come back home and talk about what they've learned.